this is Lo from Custom Creations by Lo. Today we are going to pour 2 molds for sure and 1 mold maybe, for a total of 3 possible molds. The 2 we're doing for sure are the 2 most recent that I got from Amazon. The little ghost and pumpkin, and the hand holding a skull. Which, by the way, I don't hold out a lot of hope for that one because the detail in it is not what the picture looked like. The little ghosty with the pumpkin, I think, will be fine. At least I hope so. Now, I have went ahead and pre-painted them with mica powders, so I didn't have to hold you up with that. This one I did with Diankapours Premium Powder is the Royal White. And I did this orange that I had purchased in a kit from Hobby Lobby. And that's going to be his colors. For the skull hand thing, I've done a mix of several powders. I took some Nick Pro Red, some of the Chantiki coffee, and a little bit of this copper antique, which is a Prolex color. So I mixed those together. Then for some of the outline detail, I also took some Prolex yellow and a little bit of the other mix I made and put it in here to create a weird mustard color thing. And I intermixed those, painting the interior of the skull hand. Again, I'm not holding out a lot of hope for it. It was really not a great mold. It was not as big as I thought, and the details on it were horrible. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up. 12 ounces of Bond Crafter 1-to-1 resin. So we have a part A and a part B, and we're going to do 6 ounces each. I am going to put them in the bubble remover before pouring them, just because I want to make sure that we don't have any possible bubbles. Sorry, I'm just looking at my cup and I can't tell. Yeah, it is inside of my cup. There's a little black speck. So let me see if I can get that out real quick, and then we'll get to mixing. Yeah, it is definitely inside the cup. I'm not sure what it is because it's a brand new cup. Anyway, so I will get this mixed up. I'm gonna put you on a fast forward, as you've seen mixing 101 times, maybe a million, who knows. But I'm not going to hold you to that, so give me just a second, we'll get it mixing. Okay, so I've got that all mixed up. I am going to split this into 2 cups because it is pretty big. It won't fit in my debubbler. Also, I don't want to have a flash cure. For anyone that has not experienced that, it's a very scary thing. Your resin could potentially start bubbling. It starts boiling. Might explode, which was my first thought when it happened to me. And it just can ruin your piece. So we're going to try to avoid that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 separate colors for the resins because I don't want obviously to mix all the colors in that one because I need to separate them. So I'm going to put them in the cups that came with my debubbler. They don't, contract upon themselves like the regular plastic cups, as well as I'm going to be doing, I haven't quite made my mind if I want to do this in, pour it with the Diankapours white, the raw white that I used to paint it with, and I think that I probably will. And then for the hand, I'm going to take these colors that I had mixed up to paint with, put them in that resin, and then potentially add some more of the chocolate just so it'll be a deeper brown. So let me go ahead and get this split. Whoops, try not to do that. Now these don't have measuring, so I'm going to kind of eye it. If anyone wondering, again, these particular cups, the clear ones, came with my debubbler. There was 4 of them. And then this great big one that I mixed everything in, I bought at Dollar General. It was a whole $1. It is wonderful because it does not have seams or ridges or bumps or anything like that, which is great for when you're trying to get all of the resin out of your cups and scraping them. This is probably going to be too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. Let me get my scraper out. And we can always use the leftovers in something, trust me. I do wish they made these little spatulas handle a little longer, because it definitely would help in getting out from such a deep cup like this one. But I guess we take what we can get, right? And then once I get the colors and the mica powders mixed into, oh my goodness, into this, we'll put on the debubbler and then keep an eye on it. Definitely don't want it to boil over because it is kind of getting close. Okay, oops, I got some coming off there. Alright, put that in there. While this is debubbling, we will clean up that cup. Alright, so let me go ahead and get some white in here. I'll just use a stick. see how that does. Oh, yeah, in case anybody is noticing, I do have different gloves. These are the ones I ordered. They are 8 mils. They are staying on my fingers better, but more importantly, I think they'll protect me from the UV resin when I use it. So that will be a very cost-saving thing. Now, Diankapours or Diankapour micas, they mix really well, really easily. Now, I will probably have to paint some of the details in on the ghosty, but definitely on the skull hand, because like I said, with markers, because the detail in those is not anything like it is in the picture, and it's not as large as I thought it was going to be, so I may check about returning them, because, which I'd hate to do if this mold works out, because it's pretty cute, but this skull hand one, definitely not. You always want to make sure that you mix your mica powders in, otherwise they will float to the top, and that can leave a very not so pretty piece. Alright, so we'll let that set while we mix this other color in. I don't know why I use that little stick, but I did. I can see here on the side that it's not quite mixed. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get that in. We're going ahead and that in. And we'll stir it up, and then we will add in the chocolate for the coffee. Just to give a little bit of depth to it. You also want to make sure you get the mica off the side of your cups, because you don't want, again, you don't want it not mixed in, and it loves to stick to the side. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I mean, the color itself is gorgeous. But I mean, it's very pretty. You can see the hints of the yellow and the red in there, and that copper color is giving a little bit of a shine to it. And these are matte molds, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. All right, so let's get some brown in here. And again, this is the same brand I've been using, got it off Amazon. It's Diankapours. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, that's pretty close, I suppose. Find a spoon. There we go. We're going to go a little bit at a time. And if I don't get the color that I'm looking for particularly, I can always add just a dash of the black luster, also from this company, that comes in the kit, which I will try to link everything in my description as normal. Also, I have a new discount code for Tea Expert. So make sure you check out my description box. I have Diankapours affiliate codes. I have Let's Resin, Eye Candy, and now Tea Expert. Yeah, that's just giving it a little more chocolate. We'll put just a little bit more in there. I'm thinking I may have to add just a touch of black in there. The great thing about these new gloves is they are textured, so they have a great grip. Because they're a thicker metal, I think that's why they're not coming off my fingers as much. They are a little bit, but nowhere near as bad. When I order these again, I think I may try a small and see how that does. So let me grab this black powder. There we go. Oh, my eyes are itching. All right, let's get a little bit of that. Isn't that pretty? Especially if I get on the resin and not everywhere else but there. Let's see what that does. Oh yeah, that's going to give it a nice depth. It mixes really well. You see that now? Look at that. You get it's. Ooh, that's going to be gorgeous. Hopefully it'll help out this mold, because like I said, I'm very underwhelmed by it. All right, let's set that for a minute. Just double check this. And we'll get our stick out. I don't know why, okay, I'm just going to tell you up front. I don't know why, but I will not leave my sticks in my little debubbler. It's not fancy. It's an off-brand. It works. But I just feared it going bubbling everywhere if I leave a stick in it. So, I will not. I know some folks, some artists do. They'll just pop their whatever into the debubbler with the resin in it. And I am not that brave, okay? Because the room I am in, there's carpet, okay? Until I get out in my new spot, I have carpet to worry about. And that's why when I had that flash gear, I was panicking. I thought it was going to explode up on the ceiling, on my carpet, you know. So, yeah, that was a scary thing. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to pause you, get this in the debubbler, and when it's done, we'll come back. See you shortly. Okay, we are back. So we got this out of the debubbler. I've cleaned up all my cups and all that stuff. So that's done. So we're going to go ahead and get this poured. Don't know, oh yeah, it's getting pretty warm. That debubbler always makes it warm up. So let's go ahead and get these. We'll do this one first. I did not spray any alcohol into it because I had already painted them with the mica powder. Stop there, kind of squish around down there. See if we get any bubbles. Yep, there came a little one. I need a tool. I got some bubbles down in there. Okay. We may not have any left, which would be fine. Don't necessarily need any left. We're going to have a little bit. Alright. Let's get it moved very carefully. There we go. And again, I don't have high hopes for this skull one at all, just because the details that I was expecting were not there, or the size of it. There comes some bubbles. So I'll be pouring the rest of this in and saying a hope and a prayer. We won't put this on the heat mat because if I do, I'll do it later. So hold on, let me find another mold. So I think what I'm going to do, folks, is I told you there was possibly a third mold. Now this mold is one that I made of this cute little bird. Oops, hope I don't break it. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I created a mold. Had one issue with it. Actually, there's two. Beginning with, on the bottom of this was a hole, as a lot of these little ceramic things have. So what I did is I made a disc with UV resin, cured it, and then put some more UV resin on the underside of it and put it on top and then cured that. So it made a seal on that bottom. So what we're going to do, if I can keep it from falling, is we're going to go ahead and take the mold that I made. I did have to do a slight split, and it may have worked out to my advantage. I don't know if what we have left will be enough. We may have a little rin, because that looks like the colors we're going to have. So we're just going to pour it. I am going to put just a wee bit of alcohol in there, just because. And then I'm going to dump out the extra. Wipe that up. So this is the mold of the little bird. And this will be the first time I'm pouring it since I have made it. So what we're going to do, we've got about that much, maybe a half ounce to 3/4 of an ounce of the white, and about 2.5 ounces of this brownish reddish color. So we're just going to start alternating it. See if we have enough. Sorry, Jeannie, I'm trying not to go into my magic mold box today. I know how much you love it, but I'm trying to get this poured too, so my apologies on that today. And I did want to go ahead and get this poured because it is heating up. Now, we potentially will not see the white because this brownish whatever color may just totally eat it up. Don't know. And you know what? It's looking like we might have just enough resin. That would be awesome. Yeah, I think we are. I'll be dang. We definitely are. Now, I know you don't really want to pour these up because they are hand, cut. But we'll do a little more. You may have to find maybe a shell or something. Stand up there, friend, to finish this last bit off. Okay. Alright, so let's move our little bird up here. I am going to put a stick on it because it does look like it's leaning just a touch. Okay, Janie, I'm going in the box just for you because I don't want to waste this resin. So give me a minute and we'll see what we find. What do we have? That's not big enough. That's too big. I'm going to have to pull it out so I can see. Let's do these shells. That hopefully will be enough. If not, we've got another. There you go, Jeannie. I went through the magic mold box. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let me get a stick. We'll try. Yeah, resin's getting pretty sticky, so I'm just going to try to do this. See how sticky that's getting? This might make a cute pair of earrings and pendant set. What do y'all think? I'm going to take out a little bit of this brown so I can put some of this white here in the earrings so we have a good mix. Not sure if y'all can see that with this mold in the way. Just taking out some of this brown. I got too much in there. Put some of this white. Oops, I forgot to put a stick back underneath that. Let's do that real quick. Here we go. Okay, I'll squeegee that off in a minute because these things are getting very sticky. Oops. Probably gonna have some cleanup on these, but that's fine. I just didn't want to waste this resin, you know. And I think these little shells are going to be really pretty. Hopefully marbled like this. Alright, that's it for a brown. Got just a teensy bit more white. I'll fill up this one. Oh, definitely got some overage on that one. that one too. Let's see. A little bear, because I definitely have some overage on these. If we don't fill him up, it's okay. I've made a mess. I've made a royal mess. Alright, we'll clean that up in just a minute. Our handy dandy miracle scraper right there. Talk about using this to the last drop. That's what we are doing. I can get my gloves to stop sticking. Believe it or not, we're going to get this little dude completely filled up. I'll have to squish him around a little bit just to make sure that all that resin, since it's so sticky, gets down in there. Okay. Look at that, y'all. We did it. We absolutely did it. Messy, but we did it. All right, so I am going to get everything cleaned up, and we'll come back when it's time to demold. So I will see you then. Bye for now. Hey everybody, so welcome back. Everything has cured. I let it sit overnight to cure, and it's time to demold them. We will start out with our extras first. This is the first set of shells. I know I'm going to have some trimming to do in them. Here's one. Oops. There is another one for the earrings. And then for the pendant. Oh, it's pretty. It didn't quite marble the way I thought, but it is very pretty. What do you think? Okay. Then we have our other little shells here. This is just different shells that you can use for embellishment or, you know, for whatever. That one's kind of interesting, the way it turned. Like I said, I know all these need trimming, so I won't keep you on here to do that. But this one, the white didn't really, I mean, the brown mixed color didn't really make it through the back. I mean, to the front, so that's what we got on that one. And we have this little shell, which actually it's pretty. Whoops, can't hold anything. You have this one. Another starfish. That's pretty. Said I got some trimming on these. I knew I would because it was getting so thick trying to get it into the mold. And this one. Oh, that one's really pretty, isn't it? And then our last one. Alright, now this is our little bear that we did. He'll definitely need some trimming. It's interesting looking. He kind of marbled. But there he is. Okay. Move on over here. And which one do we want to do first? Let's do the one I expect to be the worst. This is the skull hand, or the hand holding the skull, which, again, I'm not holding out a lot of hope for it, just because it wasn't as big, and it definitely wasn't as detailed as I thought. And I just noticed that's split right there. It was cut when they were trimming it. It's not a well-made mold. It's definitely not a well-trimmed mold. It's very soft, but let's see if we can roll that out of there. Sorry, y'all, I dropped him. Huh. Looks better than what I thought it would. What do you think? The colors mixed too much. You can't really see any of the white that was in there. No, I'm sorry. the red, the brownish color took over. You can see the gold part, but I'll have to take a marker. But yeah, I mean, it's more detailed pour than it did than it looked. Got a little bubble there. Not too shabby, it's just not as big. What do you think? All right. I have to trim the bottom, which I knew I'd do that. I guess I'll paint it up with some markers. Okay, let's check out our little ghosty and pumpkin. Not real happy with that orange, but he's cute. I can color him up some more. What do you think? Now that I've poured them once, I can really, I can look at them, use them as examples for when I pour them again, so I know it. I really wasn't sure what to expect on this. But yeah, it's cute. What do you think of him, or her, or it? Coloring the eyes and that, maybe with some UV resin mixed up with some glow in the dark. That might be cute. All right, so those are those. Now for the mold that I made. Oops. And this is, again, this is a test time. Don't know how it's going to turn out. I'll keep that because I can use it to clean up these molds. Alright, so this is the first time I've poured in this. I don't know how it's going to do. Hopefully I can get him out. A little alcohol in there. Oh, he turned out pretty. Let's see. Got some little micro bubbles. I'm going to have to trim him down. But that's how I'm going to mold. This was our master. Not too bad. Give him some eyes and things. Not too, it's got some blemishes on it. Let me see. So that's, so I'll need to re-pour another one, but that worked. Yeah, so we'll cover it up and call him a success. What do y'all think? All right, so that is everything, and I will trim these up, and when I take pictures, they will be all finished. I'm not going to keep you here for that. Yeah. So all in all, I'd say I was successful, but I'm kind of really intrigued by this hand and skull, how it actually came out. Because I really wasn't expecting it to be that good. Do have a bubble right here at the eye socket. But again, now that I know what to expect in pouring it again, I can kind of go from there. But yeah, so there we are, my friends. And as I said, once I get these all painted up, I will, actually what I'll do is I'll put you on a fast forward, and then when they're done, I'll bring you back. So hold on.